For those of you who don't know, I am in bikini prep, so one thing I like to do is make voluminous foods. And one thing that's great about this recipe is you get a lot of bang for your buck. So we're making a protein ice cream today, and you're going to need a big bowl to put your ice cream in. It literally gets to a huge size. It's ridiculous. So a couple things that you guys will need is some sort of milk base. I just used some cashew milk. I always say that word weird. Some cashew milk right here. This is just a 25 calorie milk. You're only using a little bit of this, so if you have skim milk, almond milk, whatever you have on hand. Another thing you'll need is some sort of Greek yogurt. I really like this Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt in the vanilla flavor. So you guys can use any sort of protein you want. You don't have to use vanilla, you could use chocolate, cookies and cream, peanut butter, whatever your little heart desires, you can use. And my favorite part about this recipe is you can top it with whatever you want. So one thing I'm going to be using because I'm on prep is some calorie-free chocolate syrup from Walden Farms. A lot of people get weird with this brand because of the chemicals and stuff, but a little bit won't hurt you. Just don't chug the whole bottle. Not recommended. Another thing I'm going to be using is some PB2. You do not have to mix this up at all. When you set it on top of your ice cream, it gets all melty, like a peanut buttery melty base or whatever. I don't know. It's delicious, so I really like it on my ice cream. And then one last thing I like is a little bit of almonds. And I actually have used this whole bag, so I just want to show you guys what brand I use. I love pecan, turtle sundae ice cream desserts, so I'm going to try to recreate that right now. Alright, so first step that we're going to do is you're going to need some sort of blender and fill it up with about 1.5 cups of ice. And this is just like a Ninja blender, which works pretty good for this recipe. And we're going to add 1 scoop of our whey protein. I have my food scale right here. I'm going to weigh out 2 ounces of this vanilla Greek yogurt. You guys don't have to be so specific with the ingredients. You could just take a tablespoon and just throw it on in there. But I'm just going to measure today. So basically, I tare my scale and I will take 2 ounces, so that's 1. Oh, almost. Okay, so this is when you have to get a little bit patient with this recipe. I don't really recommend making this if you're ravenous hungry, which I kind of am right now, but you're going to slowly add in your milk and blend it. You don't want to add too much of this. We're literally using less than 1 cup of our milk. But you're going to add about 2 tablespoons, blend it up, 2 tablespoons, blend it up until you get a nice thick consistency. So you can kind of eyeball this one. It was more like 1/4 cup, but hey, we're going with it. See that it's getting a little stuck. Give it a good old shake. And we're going to add a little bit more milk. And another thing you might have to do is push down your ingredients. That whey protein is thick, so sometimes it will stick on the sides. Alright, so you're going to blend it till you get this little ice cream consistency right here. I'm going to take this little guy out. You can see how thick that is. So you're going to need one of these little guys. I don't really know what they're called, but I think they're like a frosting spreader. And take your soft serve ice cream and pour it into your bowl. You can see that there is a lot of our protein ice cream. And just so you guys know, this recipe has about 25 grams of protein in it. Whatever sort of toppings you use will change the macros of this recipe. If you add more carb type toppings, obviously this recipe will have more carbs in it. If you add more like nuts or peanut butter on it, it's going to have more fat. But the ice cream itself is basically 25 grams of protein, around 5 grams of carbs, and 0 fat. So basically a lifesaver. And just look at how thick that is. So definitely a nice little dessert. And then the fun part happens. You get to put on your toppings. So just do a little sprinkle of that. We're going to do a little bit of a chocolate drizzle. And there is our ice cream. Just so you guys know, this is one serving, so you can't eat this entire bowl of ice cream just for yourself. And I don't really like to share my recipes, so I will be enjoying this entire bowl myself. And also one more thing I want to mention in this video, guys. If you like the shirt I was wearing, it is a new brand and it is called Repping Cleveland. I am a Ohioan, so if you guys want to check out the link down below. I really like this shirt. It makes the shoulders look good. So check out that link if you guys are liking what I'm wearing. And let me know if you try this recipe out. It's definitely one of my favorites and it is delicious. Oh, do you want a bite? Stop.